In the recent developer update for the Elder Scrolls Online, we got a look at all the class mastery passives coming to the Elder Scrolls Online in Update 50. And there's a lot of stuff to go over here. Instead of doing every single class in one video, I'm going to break each class down into its own separate video. So today we're going to cover the class mastery passives that are coming in Update 50 for the Templar class. Now keep in mind they did say all of this is extremely experimental. These things are still being worked on. These numbers could change and most likely will before Update 50 launches. So just kind of remember that, but when you see these, you will kind of get the idea of what these class mastery passives will do. In case you're not sure what class mastery passives are, these are meant to narrow the gap between subclassing builds and pure class builds. This will be an option for you to run a pure class build and have a little extra help with some of these things that are going to give you more damage, more things to help when you're tanking or maybe running a healer. These are to just really narrow that gap. They said some of these class mastery passives may even feel like you're stronger than you were with a subclassing build. So this is something that players have been asking for since subclassing was introduced into the game. Like I said, none of these numbers are final. They're still testing this. Things will get reworked, especially with all the class reworks going on. They'll have to go back in and adjust some of these class mastery passives for that as well. But when this launches, there will be 5 in total that you can pick from for each individual class. You can choose 2 to have equipped. So out of the 5, you get to pick 2. If we look at what the Templar class mastery passives will be, we have Illuminary of Bravery, which grants lustrous bravery for the duration, which will give you 300 weapon and spell damage to allies, and that doubles for you. In Radiance or Judgment, they said these names will most likely change as well before the launch of these class mastery passives in Update 50. When rank 2 of Burning Light deals damage, your Templar abilities gain 2,000 damage done for 3.1 seconds. Also, Missionary of Light. Sacred ground, is now applied while you are in your own Nova and Spear Shards, and while Radial Sweep and Solar Barrage are active. While Sacred Ground is active, you heal for 1,279 health every second. If you are at full health after being healed from this effect, you gain 2 ultimate. Sacred Anchor, which Sacred Ground now activates as it refreshes itself while bracing, increasing the amount of damage you can block by 20% while stationary. And as you can see so far, some of these are made for healing, some of these are made for more of just general use, some of these are made strictly for DPS or tanking. Hold the Line, and this is the one that looks very interesting to me, especially if you like to maybe tank with the Templar class. While Sacred Ground is active, you gain a damage shield for 6 seconds, up to once every 6 seconds. The shield absorbs up to 3,200 damage and provides 300 health, magic, and stamina recovery while active. If your shield breaks, you gain 10 ultimate. That is definitely something that sounds cool to me. Like I said, if you are a fan of tanking with a Templar, or even maybe for a Templar-like solo build. There's a lot of ways that you could apply these class masteries to different types of builds with a Templar. Like I said, the numbers are going to change. The names are most likely going to change. But you get kind of the general idea of what they're doing. And they said that's why they went ahead and talked about this in this most recent developer update. They wanted to give players the idea of what they're going for with these class mastery passives. And I think this is an incredible idea. This is one of the better things to me that they've done inside of ESO in a while. This is, if it goes over the way it should, if this all gets added in and there's no real issues, this is going to be a big game changer. This will allow players to really pick and choose how they want to build their class. You don't feel like you're forced to subclass. You don't feel like you're forced to just play a pure class build. You're going to have a lot of options and a lot of different ways that you can play, of course, different builds with each individual class in the game. And of course, you can see that all of these passives do pair with other things that you will be running on your class. So like the Missionary of Light, for example, it says, Sacred Ground is now applied while you are in your own Nova and Spear Shards and while Radial Sweep and Solar Barrage are active. So these are just kind of pairing with the abilities that you will already be using on your Templar class. But overall, this looks incredible. The whole idea of class mastery passives. And each individual class, if you did watch the dev stream, they all have some great class mastery passives kind of within them. There's none that really just look like, oh, those don't look great compared to others, like something stands out more than the other. All of them look very interesting, and I was really shocked to see how they've kind of put all this together as quickly as they have, because they've been talking about wanting to do this in the past dev stream in February, and we got a pretty detailed kind of look at how this is going to work in Update 50. Leave me a comment with your thoughts. Let me know what you think about these class mastery passive changes for the Templar. Like I said, I'm going to do these for each individual class in the game. And of course, if you like the video, hit the like. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.